Good looking, everybody. And for the final time for the 2024 high school football season, you are watching the L2 the Mirror preview show of high school football on YouTube TV and on Public Access Channel 13. I am joined again by Mike Boydham and Andy Stein, Dan Eisenberg behind the camera. I'm Scott Branco. We got one game and one game only. State championship Thursday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon at Cumberland Valley.
Yeah, that's right.
Cumberland Valley.
No hurt.
You still throw out Hershey Kisses?
They threw out the Hershey. Well, actually, you can't. So I was very interested in seeing Bob Greensburg on Twitter. Just be careful whenever you're throwing those Hershey Kisses. And I shouldn't say Twitter. I guess I should say X. But what Bob Greensburg posted that the PIAA was worried about people throwing Hershey Kisses and stuff. And that has actually become a law that you cannot do that and you can face fines. I can't imagine anyone ever actually arresting someone and putting charge against them. But it technically is now illegal to throw the Hershey Kiss.
That's nuts. Because when that game was in Mansion Park, I used to always think, what if they throw Mallow cups or little horseshoe curve things? Or, hey, the Slinky was made in Hollidaysburg. It still is made on. You can throw Slinkies on the field, but Hershey Kisses. I mean, how do you hurt somebody?
How about little steamer dolls for the alternate?
I don't know. We live too much in is it a litigious world? Is that too much litigation?
Well,
but anyways,
it's Mechanicsburg now, and we don't want to be throwing wrenches.
Yeah, there we go.
We can't do that. Yeah.
For copies of the Jason Statham movie, The Mechanic, on DVD, how many people probably have that in them? I never. But anyways, we got Port Allegany versus BG. BG 15-1. 14-1.
This is week 16.
Port Allegany, same record.
Undefeated. They're 14-0. They
one
played one less game and they got
District 9.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to get right to this because Mike's been doing all the stuff this week, all the work on it. But it's going to be at 1 o'clock. Mike's going down. We have photographer John Hartsock's going down. Alex Mice is going down. We're going to have a nice spread in your paper Friday. We got preview stories going up to that. Tell us everybody knows about Guilfoyle. Tell us about this Port Allegany team.
Well, first of all, Port Allegany, this is not a repeat. You're not watching last week's episode, but they have a 3,000-yard rusher. And this kid has actually run for even more touchdowns than that kid. His name's Aiden Bliss. He's got 57 touchdowns rushing this year. He has 84 in his career. And like I said, over 3,000 yards rushing. This guy is only a junior, by the way.
Wow. Big kid?
He's a kind of a mix. He's got this, and he's a lot like the back they just faced in Austin Johnson. And I did talk to Coach Wheeler a little bit, and we'll see some of that talk later. But he thinks that this guy is a good mix of speed and power, and that facing against Austin Johnson from Muncie last week is probably going to be a good test for them. And I did like BG's adjustments they made in the second half of that game. He ran for 162 yards in the first half, but then he only had 27 in the second half. So they made some adjustments, and hopefully those will be able to carry over into the state championship because they will need it. This team did not attempt a pass in the semifinals.
That's unbelievable. Well, I saw how little that Muncie threw the ball as well, too, but because you were there, the BG game, I thought the fact is that they had to win that game in the second half on their defense because they couldn't score. And I thought 21 points usually is a lot in high school. For BG, that's not a lot because BG scored so much. But I thought that's why. Can you remember another game this year where they had to win with their I mean, they gave up 37 at the round, but they scored 50.
Well, I will say that it was windy that night, so that could affect the passing game a little bit. And I think that they just felt like up 21-6, they pretty much had to do something wrong to lose the game because of Muncie could not throw the ball. And speaking of that, Muncie throws the ball a ton more than Port Allegany. Port Allegany really does not throw.
Is it like the Army offense, Army Navy, where they just run?
Not quite that. But they will not throw the ball unless they absolutely have to. So if BG can force them into throwing the ball, then that's going to be very big for them because that's something they haven't done all year. And I think that their quarterback's either a freshman or a sophomore.
Well, I saw, we'll talk later, they do have a receiver He's 6'4", but obviously that doesn't matter because they're not throwing to him, obviously, with the running backs they have. Could they have, if Muncie scores that one touchdown, well, I think it was, they drove the whole way down, they threw an interception, they ran the ball the way down. I think it would have cut it to 14-7. I mean, with that, can you sit there in hindsight and go, well, it might have been a little bit closer? Because even the second half, Muncie was driving again, and I think they went for it on the fourth down and didn't get it. And I thought BG's defense kept coming up with a play, kept turning away. The interception, just like Hamilton did against Tyrone.
Well, I will say this, Andy, you covered them in the last round, and they went up 28-0 against Westinghouse, and then they got back into the game a little bit. In the game I covered against Muncie, they just, I think that if Muncie would have scored again, BG might have been more aggressive. I don't think that they were super aggressive. Did you feel like once they got up big there,
in the Hamilton Gates interception in that game against Westinghouse, that was a big factor. They took a 2-touchdown lead into halftime, and I think they felt like, as long as they avoided their big play and they can melt time off the clock, the rest of the way, and they'll be fine. Of course, the Kissel brothers still did a lot of work, even though they didn't need to in the past game. But I think they felt that for the most part. They could melt time off the clock the rest of the way, and they did a good job of that. And obviously, they did an awesome job on defense, which Westinghouse had 4 big plays that day, and it sounds like Muncie probably had even less than 10.
Well, do you think it's as simple as just putting like 8 in the box and leave your corner? And I can imagine you have to be worried about their receivers, but obviously you have to cover. But you always go, okay, throw the ball. We're going to stuff this up and make you.
When they're throwing the ball that little, you got to think, like, what are they hiding? Why aren't they throwing the ball that much? I understand this running back is obviously a very talented kid, but I think there's got to be a reason why they're not throwing the ball at least a little bit more.
Is that what they did against Muncie? Where they just everybody
they had everybody like in the middle of the field in a box pretty much. But I will say what caught them off guard, according to Coach Wheeler, was that the Muncie ran to the weak side a little bit more often than they had expected. They didn't see them do that on film. So even though you're running primarily, you can do different things way out of the running game. You can run up the middle, you can run the strong side, weak side. And sometimes that stuff will catch you off guard when you are so keyed in at stopping a guy that is such a big part of the offense, and they do something different, like, maybe hand to the fullback, and then the fullback hands it to the running
Wasn't
back.
There a fumble in the game?
They got deep in possession. That was a fumble because, sometimes of these teams too, if they're in this situation for the first time, like Port Allegany is, Port Allegany's never been to a state championship game. Sometimes you got to guard against coaching too aggressively and trying to do what you're not. And it's probably better to just keep doing what you've been doing to get you here, because they just mercy rolled Fort Cherry, with the Whitfield champion. So this team's coming in confident. They're not coming in thinking, oh, we have to play a perfect game to be able to beat BG.
And I also think about the fact is that BG has a name. There's a label with them. Oh my God, they're just this awesome team. And I don't remember hearing too much about Port Allegany. I mean, you used to work up to District 9, call it District 9. Did people ever talk about Port Allegany football much when you were?
If you look at their history over the last 20 years or so, Port Allegany has historically been a pretty good program. I don't think they've ever been this good. 2 years ago, they lost in, I think it was the state semifinals. And they've had their years where they make run in the state playoffs. I don't think they've ever been this good, though. So.
And hasn't it always been Red Bank Valley for District 9?
Yeah, Red Bank Valley. Yeah, recent memory. Yeah, Red Bank Valley's been the team. And I saw a stat the other day on I'm going to say Twitter too, because I don't really call it X either.
You kids and your internet, I can't keep up.
I want to say it was either one team or 3 teams before this year from District 9 have made the state championships. And I know Red Bank Valley was one a couple years ago against BG. And then they just had 2 teams make it, this season. Central Clarion, they knocked out Cambria Heights a couple weeks ago, and they're in the state championship as well. So,
well, now we're gonna have the part of the show here where Mike got to sit down with Justin Wheeler, coach of BG, and talk a little bit about this game. This is what he had to say.
Hi, okay, here we are with Coach Justin Wheeler from Bishop Guilfoyle. How's it feel to just be back in the state championship? I know it's only been a couple years, but it's a new location and an exciting time for you guys.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's incredible. I mean, this is the pinnacle of high school sports, this game and what it means for the kids. I've been fortunate to be a part of it now. This is the sixth one, but it's a new group of kids trying to leave their own mark. So it's the first time for a lot of these guys. They might have been on the team in 2021, but besides Joe Eckenrode, everyone else was just watching it in awe. So this time they get a chance, the seniors that have been playing for 4 years, get a chance to actually be a part of the game. And even for Joe and the other guys, a new location. I was fortunate, got the Big 33 sweatshirt on, but I was fortunate to coach the Big 33 this year at Cumberland Valley. So it's just an incredible facility. So yeah, it's just a new venue, new vibe, and hopefully the same success.
When I was talking to Port Allegany's coach earlier tonight, this week when we were working on the preview stuff, he said he actually coached with you in an All-Star game. Do you remember that? And what was that experience like?
Yeah, the East-West game. It was great. I mean, anytime you get around coaches in those games, from all over the place, just talk football, and everyone's so passionate. You kind of stuck in your bubble sometimes around here, or in your own little world. But then you get a chance to go meet guys that are saying just like you will. Trying to make a difference in kids' lives, try to do the best you can, try to coach high school football, and try to win games. So having that experience, meeting those guys, and being part of that, whether it's a Big 33, the East West, is pretty cool things.
I was looking at a list of, this teams with the most state championships, and, you guys win this one, you move up another rank there, like where teams like Aliquippa and stuff like that. What's it feel like to be, obviously when you started, BG didn't have any state championships, and now to be on that list and be among the teams that have won the most state championships in the state, what's that feel like?
It's surreal. I mean, go back to my first year of 2011, being a first-time head coach, or just trying to win a game, and that's all we did is win a game. And so, and then the next year we really had a group of young, kids that really were dedicated. We won 10 games, and then got to the 11th win and lost in the district finals. And then that first year, 2014, just being so excited that you finally won a district title. That's for around here, that's like it. And then next game, it was just the unknowns, and never imagined that you'd win that Camp Hill game, beat South of Williamsport, and then play against Clairton, which was the best team in high school sports they were talking about in Pennsylvania, and to win that. So I was just surreal. I never thought you'd get there or win one. And then now going back to my 6-1, it is, it's crazy. It's such a great feeling knowing, the kids, I've been able to be a part of so many kids' lives and have success with them. And most of it is, I've had a great group of coaches, and anyone that coaches sports knows that's the most important thing. I can do a little bit, but you got to have a good group of guys, and I do. And then my family, you can't spend that many hours here doing this stuff without a great family. So it's cool to be talked about in those programs' history, but with championship history. But for me, it's about thanking the people that helped me get there. My family, my coaches, the players, and the whole BG community has been great.
And just, the outlook for the game. I mean, what do you think about as you go down there this week? And just obviously two really good teams. And what do you think has to happen for you guys this week?
Yeah, the state championship, you're facing the second best team, first, back and forth. It's going to be a battle. They are extremely big up front. They got big Lineman, who was a heavyweight wrestler, state place winner 3 years, a college scholarship in wrestling already as a junior, going to be senior this year. But he's good. And then the Bliss kid is about as good as they come, with 3,000 yards this year, 3,200 yards, 60 touchdowns, something like that. He's crazy good. They don't throw the ball very often, but you still got to stop the run. So we're fortunate, at least the last week, kind of a similar team. I just think this team has a little better line up front. It's definitely going to be a bigger challenge, but we gotta capitalize. Our offense has been explosive. Friday night it was for a half. We got to make sure it's 4 quarters to win a game like this. We only get the ball 5 times the way they run the ball. So we got to get every opportunity we can and try to get points on the board. But I think it's going to be a great game. I mean, these are two kind of opposite teams. They're big, they're physical, they're trying to run the ball 2 yards, 3 yards to the clip. We're going to try to spread it out and throw the ball around a little bit. So it's going to be fun. Hopefully it makes for some great TV, and hopefully the end of it, we can get the gold.
And beats a BG great, obviously great, history. Guys are all familiar with that and everything. And Port Allegany is actually a very well-known football program as well, having a small town. They've had a good team for a long time. This is the first time they're going to be there. Probably a great crowd on Thursday. Hope you can make it. Just appreciate you for coming in, talking with us, and all your help and everything, Coach.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you guys. This is great. I mean, every week we look forward to it. We talk about it. So I think that's the way it is across coaches. We talk about the show, not only you guys doing this to highlight sports around here, but it's the weekly previews. It's the blitz. I mean, if you people have, if anyone hasn't seen that stuff, you're missing some of the greatest high school coverage across the country. So thank you for what you guys do. It doesn't go unnoticed by coaches, players, families. And over the years, I have a lot of clippings and cutouts of stuff you've done. So it's really makes it special to go back and look at those things. So thanks for everything for you guys too.
Appreciate it.
Okay, when Justin was here talking to Mike, Justin was kind of like the purple and gold Santa Claus for the Mirror staff here, and brought us, if you're a fan of the show and you're watching, we have 2 BG helmets. We used to only have one. We have the thing over here. I thought they actually brought us some homemade Kool-Aid, purple and gold Kool-Aid. It's a noise maker. Is that money in there by chance?
They're pennies.
Pennies. Hey, pennies add up to the dimes, nickel. Then we got a gift bag. We got several gift bags for us. Andy's going to take out, show us what's in the gift bag. I like black because it's a very thinning color that make people like candy and that.
It is.
I love black. What's it say?
Sweet.
What's it say? Now, of course, we aren't allowed to wear those because we can't show favoritism, right? We have to wait till the cameras are off to do stuff like that.
I like this.
But Mike's going to show some. Mike, can we not show the other side?
We got
behind here.
the jerseys.
Yeah, can we? There we go.
Purple and
BG down.
purple and white. We got the state champion hat,
District champion.
purple cowbell.
Oh, wait, I didn't even see the cowbell. We did. We've always had this. I can't remember who gave us that, but this little guy's been here with us. Don't forget about the
I do
little
like
guys.
this. I do like this.
And then we got off to the side here. We have some shirts here. We even got a 4X trying to lure me.
Hey, there we go.
Trying to lure me.
We could cover the whole screen up with this baby.
Between Andy and I, you wouldn't see anything in this room.
Not
We
at
held
all.
our shirts up.
Not at all.
So anyways, so yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
For those of us who've been watching Mike since I think it was 2019, we have always loved free stuff.
Absolutely.
Free stuff. I love free stuff. You know, I was hoping there was going to be some little candies in there, maybe some purple and white M&Ms. Would have been a nice touch. Just saying, I sound greedy. But we even have a BG cup. It's over in it's in the collection over near Mike's stash.
That stuff.
We have boxes of stuff.
I should look into
Just
it.
again, there's a BG, whatever these are called. These cup tumblers. Are they called
Coffee
tumblers?
mugs. I call them.
If anybody out there is an interior decorator, wants to come in and
Or if anybody has any
display all
cabinets,
this
we
stuff.
want to put a cabinet in here.
Yeah.
In fact, somebody said, my brother asked me where our studio was when he watched our show. This is the conference room at the L2 Namir. It's about as big as you can see from me to where the other side of the room.
If anyone wants to take over my job as interior decorator around here, like I'm all ears, because hey, that's not my expertise.
I'm just the talent. I go out, I get my makeup done, I come in, I talk, and I go after that.
That's right.
So we still have some other stuff to take care of. Mike's got a stat of the week. Andy's got it's a call.
Sort of a line minimum.
And then I got my last cool name, say Mike first.
Okay, so my stat of the week for this week is that the District 6 champions did not all make it to Mechanicsburg, Cumberland Valley High School this year, but they all really lost to elite competition. So you have BG, who was in the state championship, and then Cambria Heights lost to Central Clarion, who was in the 2A state championship. Bedford lost to Troy, who was in the 2A state championship. So our 2A teams that won District 6 titles, the teams that they lost to are in the state championship facing each other. Penn Cambria lost to Avonworth, who is obviously in the state championship in 3A. And by the way, kudos to Penn Cambria. We didn't get a chance to quite wrap up their season, but great job making it to the semifinals. Hollidaysburg lost to Roman Catholic. Roman Catholic's in the 5A championship. and State College lost to Central Catholic, and Central Catholic's in the 6A championship. So all of the teams that beat our area district champions, they didn't just lose in the next round. They went the whole way. So we had some pretty good football played around here this year.
Yes, your what's that? The strength of schedule. Not that we're worried about the CFP in high school football, but the strength of schedule
It matters
for Hollidaysburg and Ben Cary. Yes, it does.
It's ahead. Short steps. Short steps are better than long steps.
What is your comment of the week since we've run out of line?
Yeah, well, I could have made BG the line of the week many times this year. Last week, a couple weeks before that, I think they awarded my line of the week like first big playoffs. But one thing caught my eye, but Mike actually told me about it last night. Port Allegany has a lineman, number 51. His name is Carson Neely. He is committed to Clarion for wrestling. Obviously, a very good lineman. He's a captain on their team this year. But obviously he's more of a beast here.
And Clarion's a big time wrestling.
Division One. It's Division One. It's a small Division One program, but it's Division One, and So this kid has a bright future. I want to say he's lost 4 times in wrestling in the last 2 years. I think he was 4th his sophomore year, 5th last year in the state in the PIAA tournament. So
what weight does he wrestle at?
Oh, he's a heavyweight, obviously.
We're looking at Eckenrod is the big boy for BG, right? Yeah. So I wonder if he's that.
That could be fun. That could be fun. So I'm looking forward to watching that on Thursday. I'll be watching on TV like most people around here, but
I have to come in here to watch it because YouTube TV does not get PCN. I get it. We get all these channels out of Philadelphia, and I don't know why they're too far away. I don't know.
I wanna know what's the name of the game.
But our final thing here we're going to do is cool name. I did come up with one from Port Allegany, but the one I thought of is, I looked at BG, and I already did BG, and I didn't want to pick another kid. But I just look back at the kids that I went to school with and the BG kids that I watched when I was little. Like, I just named to throw out. There was a kid that kicked at BG named Gary Icavella. I just love that name, wow. Gary Icavella. And then there was a quarterback when I was a junior at BG. His name was Bill Yankovic. Just Yankovic is a great name. There was a running back.
It's kind of a weird name, I think.
Yeah, Craig
Yankovic.
Bobatich was a running back.
Weird app.
At just names like that I grew up with. There was a Carl Schmidhammer.
Did Yankovic become a dentist?
No, I think he was an engineer. I think he was an engineer.
I thought Weird Al.
I used to coach his daughter in Little League softball and everything. She talked more than me. And can you imagine a little kid who talked more than me? I'd put her in right field, and she just would still keep talking. But no, my name is Port Allegany as a kid. He's a 6'4" wide receiver. Again, in that offense, he must be just decorations or something. But his name is Jared Funk. F-U-N-K. Jared Funk, which had Andy and I singing in the newsroom.
So many things like
the song by the Brothers Johnson, I believe it was. Get the funk out of my face. Get the funk. Yeah, see, he's going to sing it everything. I would sing, but I was afraid the alternate community theater would come steal me away from
I think I have to get going to the game.
But anyway, so that's going to do it for the next time you see the three of us. It's going to be in August of 2025, and who knows what this room is going to look like, and who knows what we're going to look like. But again, thank you all year for watching us and for hitting that like, subscribe, and what's the other button?
Like, share, subscribe.
There you go.
And start thinking about, if you want to maybe sponsor the show next year.
Yeah. Or what you want to give us.
I know, right?
I still used to go back to the old trusty mascot heads. We could collect mascot heads. I think that would be awesome. Especially Virginia Valley, because aren't they the Stingers? The Hornet. So there you go. Marion Centers is saying we could have a Hornet's head. Or a Dragon's head for Central.
And good luck to BG and everybody going to the game. Safe travels.
Yes, good luck. Especially our people, because we need them back here healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. Good night.